the biggest stresses for our students was that it was taking too long for them to get their money back if they had asked for a refund. I mean, we were quoting them 30 to 45 business days, which just didn't seem acceptable. So we needed to, we got it down to 7 to 10 business days. So with this event, we were able to eliminate a lot of time.
We had 22 folders, 48 subfolders, 44 sub-subfolders, 318 documents, so it equaled 432 pieces of information that we are asking people to search through to find what they're looking for when they had questions. So when we launched our internal website that we use now, we had 103 pieces of information.
More or less, the aha moment for us was when all of a sudden customer service said, you could do that yourselves. We could order courses for ourselves? Okay. And just like that, one entire department doesn't have to be part of the process anymore, and we're cutting out hours, in some cases days, of waiting time for them to have to process an order, and now we can just go in and take care of it on our own. So that was our biggest accomplishment out of that entire day, was the ability to, in a lot of cases, just cut out an entire department and days of waiting.
Well, we took a look at our monthly reporting process, which we take a look at our sales data from our internal system, and we translate that into our B2B customer relationship tool. And the sole point of that is to identify a revenue footprint for each one of our B2B clients.
Weren't you spending like some huge
Days,
amount?
days, weeks, yeah. Up to 2 weeks sometimes, yeah. Just processing all of it, yeah. Spreadsheets, PowerPoints, just was out of control.
What did you get it down to?
We got it down to 2.5 days as of right now. So from 8 to 10 to 2.5.
How did you do that?
We basically just mapped out the entire process, every tiny little step we were doing. And, you know, to look at it that way, it's a good way to see what everyone is actually doing and steps that we can combine and take out to get from point A to point B.
It was really I think the big thing for us too was really identifying exactly what all those steps were,
right,
and just applying a time to that. I don't think we really had a good understanding of how much total actual work time we had in that process until we took a step back and, oh my gosh, you know, this is huge. So I think it gave us a lot more visibility of the process. And then as we worked through it, I think both, you know, everyone, and there's 3 of us in the total team that you know, we started to see pretty quickly, okay, here are some things we can do to free up some time.
When you go through an event like this, you're less likely to judge because you understand what people are doing, and you're more likely to believe and trust that everybody is working really hard for the same point.
Well, to build on the trust thing, when somebody has explained to you exactly what their tasks are and why they do them, you don't question that they're going to do it in the future. You know that they're going to do it, and you know that you can trust that they will do their job and that you can do your job, and you don't have to constantly be checking up on somebody else's work or anything like that, because that's one of the wastes as well.
But at the same time, going through this process and seeing what happens when you have a good blueprint, when you have something that, a shared language, I think is a way that a coworker had described it. When you have those tools combined with cooperative, genuine people, really good things can happen.
The day started out with a lot of people wanting to jump to the conclusions. I have an idea, let's fix this. That was a tough thing to get past. Once we had a process map in front of us and we could actually see how work was flowing, that was when we were able to make our suggestions and start working on how to improve the process. Before, we were just sitting there looking at it. Well, I think this is how we do it, but we didn't know. And once we had it nailed down that this is what we do, then we could move forward and say, yes, that is what we do and why. We can get rid of that. Let's do something different. Let's improve it.
We're working on that. I've had more responsibilities added to my position in the past year or so. So that's really being lean has helped me to manage that better. I don't think a year ago I would have been able to handle the, some of the responsibilities. And I've seen that, throughout our department. Everyone's taking on more stuff and looking for ways that we can improve the department and improve the company, even without there being an initiative to, because we do have the understanding and we do have the bandwidth now to focus on that kind of project.
I feel like there was a lot of steps that were questioned, even initially in training in on just daily tasks that I was doing. And by going through this mapping and the lean process, I had a lot of those questions addressed, and they were also corrected. And I was able to proceed with different ways of processing just daily tasks that made more sense, that were more efficient.
Having the mindset that it's okay to question what you're doing. It's okay. You should be questioning what you do every day. Is this the best way to do it? And if not, what is the best way? And simply taking the time to stop and say, I need to do it this way because the student actually, or the client, values this more than me having to do it this way because that's the way we've always done it.
Well, one thing as a whole that is brought to me and the team that I manage is just a sense of accomplishment for one, and then also just feeling challenged. I think it's one thing to go through these exercises, be part of events, and evaluate things that you're doing on your team. But when you can push people on your team to be doing that and finding things they can make better, and then when you see that happen from everyone on your team, even our teammates on the phone, they see things that could be improved, it's a really good feeling.
I think Lean and the introduction to Lean taught us to question everything a little bit more. I think a lot of the things we do around here, we do them because we've always done them. They work and we've always done them, and we didn't see a reason for change. And I think that's the biggest thing.